Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you're tuning in from. This is a BS Buddies podcast. That's your host, Ian. I'm your host, Joe. Today, we're going to look at conspiracy theories, but not normal ones. Weird ones. We're going to Reddit again, our favorite place, and we're going to see what kind of conspiracy theories people come up with, discuss them, maybe dive deep in them for no reason, but
have a lot of fun with it. Can you even call a conspiracy theory normal? I mean, isn't the whole premise of a conspiracy theory is that it is a not normal, not well accepted idea that some people have? I mean, sure, there's ones that are more tame compared to ones that are more outlandish, but just food for thought. Food to toss that out there with you.
But
Hey
we're going to
everybody, how's it going out there? I hope you're all doing well. Sorry, Joe, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just wanted to throw in this little bit and talk about the weather because it started snowing today and it sucked and it's cold and I'm bundled up in a sweatshirt and I feel like we needed a weather bit in the start of our video because it's 2025. And you know what? I'm bringing back the weather bit.
Well, if you want to bring up the weather, why don't you bring up one of these conspiracy theories just to tie it all in?
Indeed. And our first conspiracy that we're starting off with, I have pulled up a website here before Joe got on. I was doing some research. Research.
Doing some research.
You're doing some research, guy. Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Okay, no. I was doing some research. I know, shocker. And so I just went on to funniest conspiracy theories there are. And one of the first links was this Reddit link. And one of the best things about this is that this is an 11-year-old Reddit thread. All of these answers are 11 years old. So you're getting a little bit of a glimpse into the past, right? So remove any modern, contemporary politics or other such ideas from your mind. These are strictly from the lens point of like over a decade ago.
I'm reading the replies to our first one, and it just gets better and better.
I like how the first reply that has 1,000 likes is just holy shit.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I was talking about the weather one you brought up before we started. If we wanted to tie that in to you talking about the weather.
Oh, wait, there's a weather one? Are we looking at the same thread?
The government one. 3 down.
Oh God, okay. Yeah, I gotta go down. Okay, hang on, we're getting there.
We'll go back up to the top, but to tie in weather, this user said, my dad seriously thinks that the government manipulates the weather so they can make money on a certain type of bread. To go in deeper to the replies, because I find them hilarious, the first reply is, what?
What?
And then the original person said, like, there's this bread seed that doesn't work unless it's at a specific temperature. They also use the weather manipulation to flood Colorado because of something political. It really makes me sad to hear a once brilliant man saying these kinds of things. Next reply. Bread seed?
Bread seed?
You know the thing you use to make a bread tree? You are wrong. Bread clearly grows off of bushes. No, you're thinking of baked beans.
And then it just keeps going. Perhaps he was thinking of breadfruit, which are an actual thing, by the way. Oh, what? I didn't see this one. I must open up this link. Did you mean breadfruit? I did mean breadfruit. Whoa. That thing is weird. That's really weird. All right. I'm going to test your editing skills here, Joe. I don't know if you can put this in here, but breadfruit kind of looks like, you remember those like rubber balls you could get that had like just those weird spikes over it?
Like I'm looking it up right now. This doesn't even look like it's real. This is a conspiracy theory.
It looks like God, what are those fruits? They're like the size of like a walnut.
Breadfruit.
They got spikes on. Not a cocklebur, but this thing. It's not this thing, but it's this thing. It looks like it.
If I remember, I'll post a picture in editing.
In the video.
It's weird.
This would be absolutely wild. Can you imagine if this went true? It's like you got a bunch of cabinet members sitting around like, all right, gentlemen, listen here. The Italian bread, the wheat bread industry, it's all failing us. Hardy multigrain, lost cause, sunk investments. We need to figure out how to make money, gentlemen. I have an idea, Mr. Cabinet Member Guy. Let's hear it, John. What if we control the weather and force people to spend millions of dollars saving themselves from the weather? No, to grow breadfruit. Oh, it's genius. Just like the most outlet. This is like shonen anime levels of evil, like it's completely convoluted on a level that I can't begin to comprehend. Bread seed, bushes, and then I love how the replies delve into Bush's baked beans for all that beautiful bean footage. Boy, that's a blast from the past. You remember those commercials?
Oh, I don't want to spend our time talking about beans. We got more
That's fair.
conspiracies. Which this the first one, or the top one, I should say, is more of a high thought than a conspiracy theory. That rocks are actually soft and squishy. They just tense up when we touch them.
Now, I will say I love this one. I've seen it around a couple of memes over the years now, but I'm wondering, this is probably way back when this was first put out there. And I always love that. Just the idea is, oh yeah, rocks are super squishy. Just when you touch them, they really tense up and they really get hard. Be better yet is the harder you squeeze them, the harder they are. That sounds bad out of context. Don't flip
That's why I
that.
started
Anyone,
laughing first.
stop. Whatever
If
you
you
do.
touch them, they get hard. Ian, 2025.
If you touch them, they get hard. Just like I'm not gonna finish that thought. That's bad. That's bad thought. Inside thought. That's an inside thought. That one stays in the head, lest I end up in a straight jacket in a padded room. Yep.
Do you want to read the
Well, maybe
next
not a
one?
straight. Sure, sure. I'll gladly read the next one. Let's see. That one's kind of meh. The moon is not real. Boo. Give me something better. Give me
We,
like moons
we've
made out
made
of
a joke
cheese.
about that. Oh my
You
goodness.
believe in the moon?
That is a whole um
That's a
paper.
rabbit hole for sure.
That's a
How do you?
paper.
Okay, not that I want to go down this rabbit hole, but how do you believe that the moon is not real? Like I understand, oh, we live in a simulation, or there's actually a dome and there's no real sky. But like, I'm gonna preface this by assuming that they believe in like the sun and the other planets and the other stars and space itself, but the moon, nah, not real. It's just a big paper mache balloon that's fucking floating around up there, and
I
they got like little fans on the backside. They just push it around the earth as we go.
I understand like the whole moon landing conspiracy theory and all that. That like makes more sense than just no, there's no moon.
That one, like the moon landing is faked. All right, sure. I believe in the moon landings, by the way. Just putting that out there. No matter what your preferences are, I think moon landings happen. But at least the moon landing's faked conspiracy has some weight to it. It holds a little bit of water. But no, the moon's not real. Okay. So what do you think happens with the tide? You think the ocean just decides it wants to rise up a little and then go back down a little bit all on its own and just feel good?
It's its
Think
own
there's
entity.
a whale somewhere just flipped its tail extra hard and pushed a big wave or something? I don't know.
This this one is interesting. That Lady
What do you?
Gaga is actually John Benet Rams.
Yes, I saw that one. I looked it up. Disclaimer: this is kind of sad. It kind of is a very under. It's very sad. Jean Benet Ramsey was a 6-year-old little girl. She was in a like beauty pageant for girls, and she was unfortunately killed like Christmas night, or they found her Christmas night. She was killed in her family's bed, and it's terribly sad. From it happened back in 1996, and I didn't look a whole lot into it. She was reported missing, and then they found her in a terrible, terrible sustained injuries. I won't go into it
Yeah,
and
let's not
bring that up,
describe that.
but that is definitely an interesting one to say the least. Is that Lady Gaga is Jean Benet Ramsey? That's I would be interested to see like what are the dots that you have connected. Let me see your whiteboard with the red strings and the post-it notes and the pictures plastered on there. How did you get to that conclusion?
Like, there's enough conspiracy theories about the whole murder case, and then it's just randomly out of left field. No, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Like
Like,
I've seen the Elvis Presley is actually oh god, what's the dude's name? Roy Bishop, something like that, is alive conspiracy. Let me look it up. I actually just heard this on the radio the other day. The radio station that I listen to, they brought this up because we just passed Elvis's birthday. And there's a theory out there that some fella who was living down in like Arkansas or Alabama or something like that, older gentleman, was claiming to be Elvis. And like they like apparently did all these tests or whatever, and like some of the things matched up. I heard of that one, and that one seems interesting to me. But from a 6-year-old little girl to Lady Gaga, hmm, I don't know about that one.
bit of a stretch.
Bit of a
I
stretch.
found a really dumb one.
Hit me.
Nuclear bombs are not real.
I saw that one. So, if it's not a nuclear bomb, what is it? I know what it is, Joe. It's a comical amount of snaps packed
Don't.
in.
We always go back to this.
Oh, excuse me, gunpowder. My bad. It's a whole
Yeah,
bunch
it's
of gunpowder.
nuclear energy does not exist. It's just gunpowder.
It's an absurd amount of gunpowder packed inside. I still like the one about Circuit City being a front for a criminal organization. And for anyone out there who doesn't know, Circuit City was a store. It's not like Staples because they did more than office supply, but it's basically kind of like Staples in like the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. They shut down, they went out of business. But here is this person's points, which I'll bring up to you, which, all right, fair enough to me. It says, I am not convinced Circuit City was in business to make a profit. In fact, it seems that they likely were a front for a criminal organization to launder large sums of money. Most large box retailers follow the same strategies to maximize sales, all of which Circuit City seemed to flaunt. Number one, locate your building in prime real estate area. Circuit City was always located in a second tier location. It was never on a main boulevard by a large shopping center, but tucked around a corner a few miles away from everything else. Two, keep aisle width to a minimum. Circuit City, on the other hand, thought it was wise to have aisles wide enough for an 18-wheeler to go through. Three, place either popular or impulse buys at the front. Contrary to this, Circuit City seemed to regularly place large household appliances, antiquated TVs, or vacuum cleaners at the front of the store, because it's obvious that Joe Schmo who saunters into Circuit City may splurge and purchase a new washer. Which I kind of like that one. It does make a little bit of sense when you think about it. It's like, oh yeah, we put all our expensive shit up front. That way, people walk in, hey, look at that big old, imagine it's like 2005 or whatever, back when big screen TVs were quite literally took up half your living room. And look at one of them over there. You know what? I got the pickup with today. I think I'll take it. Here you go. Here's $800 for that bad boy. Give it here. And then the mom in the back is going, yes, perfect.
I brought this up with Ian before we recorded. I had this conversation with a coworker a few years back at an old job. And he brought up the fact that mattress stores are just this big money laundering scheme. Like, Mattress Firm and the well-known brands are like, they're fine, but all these other small ones that are always going out of business, like, you know,
To be fair, I do love the fact that mattress stores, to me, mattress stores and used car dealerships have the same energy, right? Like you go in there, 100% window shopping. I have never walked into a used car dealership going, I am going to buy a used car today. Granted, I know there's folks like that out there, but I have never ever done that in my life. And as far as shopping for a new mattress, I've never felt particularly compelled to window shop around a whole lot. Like if I walk into a store and I see like, oh, we've got 36 beds. We got everything ranging from Springbox McGee to memory foam sink into the earth to everything else. I'm gonna be like, try this one. Nope, a little too springy. Try that one. A little too soft. Try this one. Perfect. I'll take this one. Why do you need to have 50 mattresses on the floor? That seems like an absurd variety to have for just something that you are laying down on. You know what I mean? Like I feel like 10 or 12 covers the job, but they always have so many laid out. And to add to that theory, Joe, what's one of the cliche places to hide money? Under the mattress. It's a money laundering store. Duh.
I
I
mean,
bet coffee cans are in on it too. Those bastards.
that almost makes
Coffee.
sense. It's like the mob comes in to buy a mattress, and it's like, oh, we only have the floor model, and there's money inside the mattress.
The tag says it can fit up to $148,000 in big bills inside. Well, this one says it can fit $253,000 in big bill. We'll take this one. We'll take this one. That's why the sizes are so crazy. That's why you go from like twin to full to queen to king to California king, because that needs to be a thing for some reason. You can't just have small, medium, large, extra large. No, we got to have all these other convoluted sizes so that way you can ship different amounts of money.
Moving on, I think we butchered, or not butchered, but beat that into the ground enough.
Beat that into the box spring for years.
I'm seeing stuff about how the Earth is hollow and the Nazis moved inside the Earth during World War II.
The Nazis
Um,
tunneled into the earth. They're
that
fighting King Kong.
that Hurricane Katrina was government weather controlled technology.
I do like this one about the fact that light bulbs do not emit light, but they in fact suck dark. They are dark suckers, which all on its own sounds like a whole level of something that I could make a lot of bad jokes about, but I'll refrain for the sake of being family friendly. Uh,
What? Why don't?
but my
Oh,
hmm.
if you had a thought, still go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say is that I love how this person's explanation goes into this huge, long-winded paragraph. Like there's sentences, but there's just no breaks. It's literally taking up like half my screen. It's just one big paragraph of. For years, it has been believed that the electric light bulbs emit light, but recent information has proved otherwise. Electric light bulbs don't emit light; they suck dark. Thus, we call these bulbs dark suckers. Dark sucker theory exists, and it just goes on and on and
Oh, that's
on.
why I skipped it.
Yeah. For
Because
example,
it's
take
just.
take the dark sucker in the room you're in. There is much less dark right next to it than there is elsewhere. The larger the dark sucker, the greater its capacity to suck dark.
You could
Dark
call.
suckers in the painting.
You could call fridges and freezers heat suckers.
You really could. You could call them heat suckers. As it is with all things, dark suckers don't last forever. Once they are full of dark, they can no longer suck. What's on? Dark Sucker's my nickname down at the local glory hole spot. There's my dirty joke for the day. There's my one. There's a whole lot more I could put in there, but there's my one.
Why don't you talk about the village people?
I don't know. You don't want to hear more about dark suckers and sucking dark? All right. Here we go. Here it is. I had to scroll down a little bit to find it. This one I do like. This one's a lot of fun. That the village people For anyone who might not be in the know, they're the ones who made the song YMCA. And in the Navy, you can sail the seven seas. This one says that the village people were a covert operation by the U.S. government to cheer everyone up during the recessions and oil crises of the 1970s. So what if you lost your job and had to stay at the YMCA? It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, there's no need to feel down. How said a young man. Pick yourself up the ground. How said a young man. They also prepared the world for a figure they could rally behind in the 80s to improve morale. The Macho Man, Randy Savage. I love that. That's a fantastic addition. This is my favorite one so far.
I
That and Genghis Khan with or what was that song they sung? Uh why can't I think of the name of it right now? Tell your thought, Joe. I got to figure out what I'm thinking of for this song and why I can't think of the name
well,
of it.
I don't have a thought, but I have the next one that's for Minnesota Vikings fans. This brings joy. But honestly, if someone's actually like this, I hope they seek help. Uh, I would say my friend who believes that his frying pan makes the Packers win every week. Then someone threw it out 4 weeks ago and haven't won since. He is paranoid, thinking Vikings fans came in and tossed it while he was asleep.
Oh man. Okay, so if I hover my cursor over the date, it says it was posted Thursday, December 5th, 2013 at 8:20 a.m. I would just on a whim after this, I'm going to go look up the Packers record from that year just to see if that holds true. That'd be hilarious to think Vikings fans broke into his house and threw it out. Be even better if he didn't actually live in Wisconsin and lived somewhere like across the country, just like way out in the middle of nowhere.
Uh,
I
there's there's one that's interesting. Um, I mostly like it for the reply, so I'm gonna read it. There is a video on YouTube where they think the Illuminati secret society killed Eminem or Marshall Mathers, the same person, and replaced him with a clone that was brainwashed into acting, speaking, and dressing like Eminem because Eminem knew too much and was revolting against the Illuminati. The replies. So we'll never know who the real Slim Shady is after all. We're going to have a problem
no
here.
problem here. No, this one makes sense. It makes even more sense when you think about that video that Eminem did recently. You remember the one where he was sitting in the chair talking to his younger self, right? What if it wasn't actually his younger self? What if it was the real Marshall Mathers and they've just kept him in cryostasis this whole time and they released him to make a video because they were like, "Oh, we need to keep Eminem current, keep him on top." So they did that. An unintentional side effect of this conspiracy theory, but I love it nonetheless. It's fantastic. I'm
How
here
about
for
this
it.
one? Dinosaurs were made up by the CIA to discourage time travel.
That's about as far as I got with my scrolling beforehand, and I saw that one. I loved it. The second I saw that one, I thought of the Calvin and Hobbes comic where Calvin and Hobbes go back in time and end up in amongst all the dinosaurs.
I think we got time for one or two more.
Let's see. Ooh, here's one.
What?
That's so mean.
Is it about Obama?
No.
Okay, I got an interesting one. That's sad.
All right, hit me with it.
I don't know if Truther is a site like The Onion or not, but they think Paul Walker was killed by an Obama drone strike. There's
What?
another Paul Walker one that's not even like
Oh,
a reply.
oh God.
The previous Sunday, Brian Griffin was killed on Family Guy. Apparently, Family Guy knew that Paul Walker was going to die in a car accident, so they had Brian get killed off to warn him and ever what?
Ooh.
Huh?
I've got a fantastic one that I think will be perfect to end on because I also somewhat know the backstory behind this one. Kermit the Frog masterminded 9/11. After hearing that, it was enough internet for one day. All right. So I somewhat know the story behind this one. I think, I think anyways, is that in some episode of The Muppets, in like an episode after 9/11 had occurred or something like that, they used some sort of clip or something like that where it had like a wide shot of New York in the background, but it was old stock footage that they had used in the background, so it still showed both of the twin towers in there. And so through just like a series of convoluted plot points, it's like, oh yes, Kermit the Frog was the mastermind behind 9/11.
I think this is a perfect one to end on.
Hit me with it.
That the world is actually normal and everything is exactly as it appears. Crazy theory. First reply. You. Shut the fuck up.
To be honest, if the world is exactly as it appears, that's terrifying. That's terrifying.
One of the other replies is there's another conspiracy theory that says that jar lids are made super tight so that when women attempt to open them, they can't and ask a man to open them, which they will. The point of this is to keep the patriarchy in place. And the one about like the world actually being normal, someone replied and said, I would believe jars are being tightened to increase the power of patriarchy before I believed this.
See how strong and independent you are now.
Okay. I think that's enough conspiracy theories for one episode. If you want us to dive even deeper, we can, or look up legit conspiracy theories and get our thoughts on them. Leave a comment and a like, and we'll get to that. Let's do some quotes.
Call me Alice, cause I'd be falling down these rabbit holes. Is that a good terrible pun for the day?
I, you know, I'm just doing my quote. I got nothing on what you said. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all. Oscar Wilde.
You know, you said Oscar, and my mind defaulted to "Wish it was an Oscar Mayer wiener," and I don't know why.
Thought you were gonna say
Uh,
Oscar the Grouch.
oh, here's one, but you know what? To do a callback to Macho Man Randy Savage, I've soared with the eagles and slithered with the snakes. Uh, Frank DeFord. I believe that professional wrestling is clean and everything else in the world is fixed.
Sure.
If that ain't the truth, brother.
Thank you
It
guys.
wasn't Macho Man Randy Savage, but whatever.
Thank you guys for watching this episode. Thank you for BSing with us. Subscribe to become a bud today, and we will see you next time when we find out more conspiracy theories.
We'll see you next time when we don't just dip our toes in the rabbit hole, but 100% dive in now. Until then, you just take her easy now.